Hey guys, and here I am with my first video of CES 2025. So I've come to pay a visit to the MSI stand. Now we've got quite a lot of exciting stuff that I get to talk to you about today. And I know a lot of you are going to want graphics. I actually have to come back tomorrow, but it is going to be at the end of this video. I've got a new camera, which should be a lot more stable than the GoPro I was using was. So big thank you to Jacob and to Leo for helping me choose my Osmo Pocket 3. Anyway, so we have OLED monitors to talk to you about. We have new cases. There are going to be some new motherboards, which are going to be cool as well. There's some glimmers of hope for more Project Zero boards. Amazing new cases, like super cool new cases. They've also got a nice cool power supply, which is 1600 watts. I'm trying to stop playing with my glasses. 1600 watts with loads of cool stuff. If I'm genuinely honest, a lot of the stuff that I'm personally excited about is cases. I don't know what's happened with MSI, but they've really upped the ante. I'm going to start you off with some monitors. Okay, so this is the current big OLED, which I need to show you as a baseline just so that you can see the specs, because this is the new one. And when I say the new one, it is because it is DisplayPort 2.1. We've now got 4K 240 Hertz that you can see here, OLED. It's pretty much good enough for a professional to use as well with the color and stuff. So, and I've been personally using the MSI I love that button. I've been personally using an MSI OLED for my testing for a couple of months. So when I say that they are amazing screens, I am actually talking about it from experience. But you might not want a huge 4K screen. So if you don't want a huge 4K screen, maybe you even want a little bit faster. Maybe you don't want 240 Hertz. What are you going to buy? And it could be this. Still DisplayPort 2.1. But with this model, we are up to 500 Hertz. It is only 2560 by 1440, but with all of similar features to the 4K, just with a lower resolution and a higher refresh rate. Still get the cool AI navigator stuff if that's the sort of thing that you're interested in. OLED care on there still as well. The colour's not quite as good as the 4K, but this would be a definite more gaming focused screen rather than that being a crossover between gaming and creator. So hopefully the background noise isn't too bad for you. I'm doing the best that I can do with what I can. So we have 4K 160 Hertz, and then we have also a flick switch. You can flick it over to full HD 320 Hertz. This is mini LED as well. We'll move on to the next model. This is IPS. It is 4K again, but the refresh rate is just 160. But this is moving down into the price bracket. It will not be as crazy as the OLEDs. And then when we move on that little bit further, come on to this one, which is a 24-inch screen. It's TN, but it is 600 Hertz. Now I'm going to do motherboards really quickly. Not because they're not interesting, but we've got some Intel BTF stuff. But if I'm honest, personally, I was really hoping to see a lot of AMD BTF motherboards coming through. I'm hearing that might be Q2 now, maybe sort of March, but probably Q2. So if you've got you want to build an Intel system with BTF, that's going to be really nice, but you're going to have to wait if you want to put your 9800 X3D in one. But with the magic button, we have a Tomahawk model, which they've done in black and white. And then there is also the Z890S Wi-Fi. Now this, I think, personally, would be a really nice board if you were going to paint it a funky colour or something. But when we do talk about Project Zero, this in itself is crazy. Because if you look, where's the back connectors for the board? And they're actually, oh, you can't see them around the back. I'll show you in a sec. But there's no back connectors down the back of the motherboard at all. Obviously, we've got the vertical graphics card on the side, but you've got no connectors on there whatsoever. This is what they're calling it for the minute. But they're around the back. It's on the back of the case. This is just a prototype at the moment. It's something that they're trialing. I think the case in itself could look amazing in a really modern room, maybe with the white OLED that we saw before. That's basically what they've got by the side of it. So it could be a really good fit. Something else that they've done, which is cool. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the AIO. It is only a prototype though. It's a bit of fun for the minute. They're trying to get some feedback on it. I'm going to show you some other motherboards now, just quickly. B850 board. I'm obviously focusing on this because of Ryzen, cheaper end Ryzen, and it's just going to mean that we are getting new options of being able to save money and build budget systems around the AMD platform. Hopefully we're going to be getting a new X3D processor, which is going to be slightly cheaper come through, which could be perfect for this. But we've got the Edge Wi-Fi, and then we've also got the Tomahawk Wi-Fi. It is a beautiful looking board. It just looks like the X870 one, if I'm honest. They've done an incredibly good job of being able to tie the two in. But now, absolute bonkers mental case time. So they're going to call this the Maestro 900. This thing is absolute next level. Like, I need to stand further away from it in reality, but it is outstanding. For me being a car guy and like an engineer, I'm absolutely astounded by this. Big lumps of aluminium wrapping the bottom and the top. This is all aluminium as well, although they have said that this might not get carried on into the retail product. Up to 16 fans. Obviously, you fit your graphics cards if you want, which is kind of coming back now because of AI, but there's the possibility of fitting 2 power supplies as well, which is cool. I'm just trying to pull the cable out so that I can show you around the back. Now, this case is beautiful. You can see like the lighting on my finger there on the roof. This top panel can come off. I have had it off, but it's so heavy I wouldn't be able to take this off with one hand. I could obviously put the camera on my chest to show you, but it is absolutely beautiful. I've just got some extra room to be able to do a walk past, because we've had people here, like there are a lot of people around in the room. This thing is outstanding. Like, I am absolutely in love with this case. Other things to show you just quickly. We have the Meg 1600T, which is their new 1600 watt power supply. Design wise, they spent a lot of time on it. You can see the details in the roof, the cuts, the gold elements. There's a USB-C here, so you're going to be able to control it with software from your system. Native 12 volt PCH cables. 12 volt PCH cables. 12 volt times 2.6 cables. I can never get the names right. Anyway, absolute beautiful powerhouse. This is going to be meant to be around in the February sort of time. I do believe I'm going to be getting one of these to test as well, so I'll be able to put it through its paces on the power supply tester for you. Flicking back round. Now this is where the video is going to cut, but I'm going to edit the rest in later. And that's because I wanted to show you the fact that the graphics cards aren't here yet. So what I'm going to do is come back first thing tomorrow morning so that I can show you them again. So what I did want to show you was the new, we're going to call it the new Maestro. So what MSI are going to be trying to do is, the old Maestro was quite expensive, lots of curved aluminium pieces. This is now made out of steel. They've introduced this new 45-degree angle into the design to try and reduce costs. I'm going to ping up some pictures because I've been told it's going to be $224, and it is going to be available separately, but we just don't know when it's going to come to the UK market because it's not quite there yet. But this is very much like the eye candy PC that I have on my desk that I did candy red. But what they're trying to do is just bring the pricing down that bit to make it more accessible, which is a wonderful idea. Some lovely touches on it for the connectivity, because my one had the connection options up here, and that's where my power button is. So they are trying to simplify things to bring the price down so that they can appeal to a wider market, and it's going to be available in white and black. And if I'm honest, that black one looks incredible with that tinted glass, and I'm really not a fan of tinted glass, but that I really like. And I'd actually be kind of torn whether I would end up going candy red with this one, or whether I'd want to put a lot of candy red components on the inside of this one and leave this one black. So it's already got my juices flowing. So with a quick edit, it's now Tuesday and I'm back at MSI. The reason why I've had to come back the second day is we had to wait for Jensen to do his keynote, but it does mean there is a lot more stuff for us to take a look at. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you've seen the specs of the 5090, and this is the flagship from MSI. This is the Supreme, this is also the LC. You can see that they've got a 360mm radiator for this. Also, all of the cables are contained within the braiding, but there's your pump work there that you'll see hidden underneath. You can see the micro fins on the cold plate that is underneath. It is dual slot. You can see it is a little bit more. It is 2.5, but we've still got the metal shrouding, although for a Supreme there's quite a bit more of it on there, I would say. Very brushed, very deep brushing, but I actually really like that kind of industrial look to it. And now the air-cooled Supreme, which is humongous. This actually does look very much more like the Supreme that we would have been used to. I will show you around the other side as well. They've nicely got it all dismantled for us to be able to have a look at, which is amazing. Because it does give us a good chance to have a look. It's very familiar to how you would have seen the cards before. The only thing that I will say is it is changed underneath, because we do have a vapor chamber built into this now. And it does give us a really good chance to have a look at everything underneath the hood without having to worry about disturbing thermal paste and that sort of stuff before our testing. What I am going to do is go around the other side quick for us to have a decent look on the other side. But what I will do now, I am on the other side because it weighs a ton, is pick it up, and you can see the different angled brushing on the card. I actually really like this back cutout that they've got as well. This is really quite pretty. This is making me want to paint stuff already though, because I'm that kind of weirdo. But that is a beautiful card. It's also, like I've said, really, really heavy. This stand is nice though. MSI are going to have to sort me out one of those. Brand new line from MSI is now the Vanguard. This is going to sit in between gaming and Supreme, and if I'm honest, you can tell why, because the design aspects on it actually do fit so well between the two. This looks like it should be metal, but it's plastic. For me, I would normally say that I really like the carbon aspects, but for me to like these carbon aspects, I'd have to get creative with the other colours on the card itself. If I turn that around, that will be how you'll see it inside of your case, but that is going to appeal to a lot of people. The heatsink itself looks very similar to the Supreme itself, but I'm going to probably kill it in the process, but take a card off so that we can have a proper look around. when you see it together like that, the carbon does start to make more sense. I wish they'd put a little bit more of it on the back plate itself, but still humongous card. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the 80s. There were a lot of 90s around here that Stephen from Texas, look, he's there. Anyway, we're all trying to work around each other. Anyway, so deep breaths, lots of 90s. Supreme 16GB liquid overclock. 16GB, we'll argue about that later on. Again, lots of metal, looks really pretty, it's quite cool. Supreme, as we would be used to seeing it, as we've just seen with the 90, it looks pretty much exactly the same. Vanguard, again, looks pretty much exactly the same. So I don't need to over-show you them too much. I can't talk to you about prices yet because they've not told me officially yet. I think they're still working it out. But Gaming Trio, they didn't have this in the 90, but what I can show you is it is just over a 2 slot. It is slim, huge cutout on the back. The MSI Dragon seems to be playing a lot more of a role again, and this is pleasing me greatly because I've got some plans for stuff coming up and I think you're going to enjoy it. White graphics card, 5080 in white. Looks like it's basically a trio again in white, but they've actually done it properly. There's no silver on it. They finally listened. We have the white 80 in our hands. If you have a look inside though, the PCB is very short in comparison, but I think we can all agree that this for white is very acceptable. Satin as well, or matte. There's kind of like a bit of metallic or pearl going on in it, but it looks really, really pretty. Ventus, quite plain, quite safe. It's probably going to be the one that's going to sell volume. Weirdly though, here is the one that I'm interested in. And why do you say, Tom, are you interested in that card? Well, the metal on the outside can come off quite easily, and what that does mean for me is I want to paint it. So I'm going to say it out loud now, and it's going to annoy all of the other media because it does all the time, but I need to get my hands on one of these and I need to get my mod on, because I have a sneaking suspicion you may need to see that in candy red. Now, the 5070 is pretty much the same lineup that we've seen previously. Now, it's the 5070 Ti. I'm going to slowly go through. We've got a white model again, we've got the Ventus, and then we've got the Inspire. But then okay, so what we'll do is we'll start, well, not start, what am I on about? But we're going to go with the end of the line that, let's face facts, the majority of you are going to be interested in, which is the 5070. The price was a surprise to us all yesterday, being just 549, but having the power of a 4090. This again, the Inspire, probably going to be more of a creator card, but I think that's also going to be a modder card. The Ventus White is actually quite small, but it isn't the only one, which is a good thing. There is a triple slot card, triple fan card as well, but it does mean that there is a smaller dual fan white graphics card in the stack, which is a great thing to say about, because that will fit in smaller rigs and stuff. There is the black one as well, with a lot of silver. Now, I'm going to put a weird idea out there. I actually think black and silver looks better than white and silver. I may upset a few people with that, but still, I think it looks pretty good. Then we come on to the Ventus 3 times, which is the same, but with an extra fan on the card. Okay, so then the triple slot card, which unless you're building an SFS rig is probably going to be the one that you're going to want. They've actually left the plastic. Do you know what? I am going to peel the plastic for them. Can I get my fingers on it? I can't get my fingers. Yes, I can. Yeah, look. We're going to peel the plastic for them. I get to do the honours. I'm sure we're meant to do some ASMR shit for this. But The reason why I wanted to take that off, and as I'm trying to shove the packaging in my pocket, is it is actually satin, and there is a slight pearl to it, and it really, really looks great. And they've done an epic job of the rainbow reflection on the dragon as well. So that's why I'm a big fan of it. It also is why I needed to pull that plastic off. Then we have the trio, and then they've done a Vanguard. And I think this is probably why they've done the Vanguard, as it means that they've brought another card into the range that would normally have stocked with the trio with the 5070s. Okay, so if you buy a 50 series Vanguard graphics card, you get one of these crazy luckies, but you don't know which one you get. You just get a random one, it turns up in a box, and you haven't got a clue which one you get. But which one would you have? Because I'm really torn. I kind of like the astronaut lucky, he's pretty cool. Weirdly, not keen on the UK lucky. Hollywood lucky is pretty cool, that would be wicked in someone's background. They are amazing though. Actually, I think I would be Hollywood lucky or astronaut lucky. I think that would look amazing. So that is going to be the end of my time at MSI. They've got many lots of graphics cards all over the place now, but it is Tuesday. I'm going to get this video up for you as soon as I can do. I've actually been really enjoying using this new camera when I was editing yesterday, because there's a Thermaltake video up already if you'd like to go and see their racing rigs and stuff. I've actually been really enjoying using this camera. Quality is great, it's making me look quite pretty. I don't know why it's making my teeth look really white. Maybe it's because I'm in America and all of a sudden I've got to have pretty teeth. Don't know. Random. But thank you for tuning in. Please go and take a look at the other stuff on the OC3D website. Go and take a look at the other CES 2025 videos as well. But for now, at least, this is Tiny Tom Logan with another video for you. Out.